Have you ever had a morning like this? You wake up late, spilled coffee on my shirt. I was rudely interrupted on the street. You look at your phone, but the text you were expecting hasn't arrived yet. It's only been a few hours, but my mood has hit rock bottom. And you sigh, saying to yourself, today is a bad day. But stop for a moment. Ask yourself, was it really a bad day? Or did you just hand over your peace too easily? You don't lose because the world is too harsh. You lose because of a late hour, a cold cup of coffee, or an ignorant stranger. Take control of your emotions. You get defeated by things that don't even try to defeat you. And what's sadder is you've allowed it to happen without realizing it. This is not just a bad morning. This is a test, and you have the power to choose how you respond. We live in a world where emotions have almost no protection. Just one careless word, one wrong look, one strange comment from a stranger is enough to drag someone down to the bottom of their emotions. And the sad thing is, many people live in a state of glass, fragile, easily scratched, easily cracked by the smallest collisions in everyday life. A few minutes late and already feeling dissatisfied. Others feel disrespected if they don't reply to messages immediately. Even a slight criticism makes them feel like they are not good enough. But here's the truth you need to remember. Life is not gentle with your emotions. And if you don't learn to master your inner self, you will be controlled by every little change in the world around you. The weather, slow internet, car horns, or even the eyes of a stranger. The Stoic does not ask, why is this happening to me? They asked, what am I going to do about what just happened? That's the difference between the dominated and the master. Who do you want to be? Stoicism never told you to live like an apathetic person. It doesn't teach you to deny the pain or pretend everything is okay. Are not. It just reminds you of one thing. Don't let one little thing take up all your emotional space. A thoughtless word, a cold look. One small thing went wrong. They don't deserve to dictate your entire mood for the entire day, or worse, the entire week. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, if you feel miserable because of something external, it comes from your judgment, and you can change that at any time. Please read it again. It's not the event that causes suffering. It's how you look at it. You can't control everything that happens, but you can absolutely control how you react, the meaning you give them. And that makes all the difference. You choose anger or you choose forgiveness. Choose to tense up or choose to let go. Choose to let the little things become an obsession or simply let them pass like the wind. Negative emotions do not come by themselves. They are guests you have invited in yourself. And you also have the right to say goodbye to them anytime you want. Have you ever let one little thing ruin your whole day? A word said at the wrong time, a person misspoke, a minor glitch, and then you get angry, you react violently, you gasp, speak loudly, walk away angrily, saying to yourself, I have the right, I have a reason to be angry. You may be right, but at what cost? Your mind is dominated, your mental strength is drained, and precious energy, the stuff you could be working, enjoying, creating, is wasted. Burn everything down for things that will have no meaning tomorrow. Just for a moment, you sacrifice a whole day, and no one but you will suffer the consequences. You see, in most cases, the problem is not what happened. The problem shall you stretch it in your head, rewinding like a broken tape. The Stoics understood this. Not every reaction is necessary, And sometimes silence is not weakness, but wisdom. Because if what makes you lose your cool isn't big enough to change your life, well, maybe it's not worth ruining a peaceful day. Epictetus once said, "There is only one way to happiness, to stop worrying about things that are beyond your control." And that sentence, seemingly simple, is a door to freedom. You can't control traffic on Monday morning. You can't control the weather or change the mood of the person you're talking to. You can't force the world to behave the way you want it to, but you always have control over the most important thing, yourself. You can control your breathing when emotions run high. You can control your reaction. Choose silence instead of explosion. You can control the frame in which you look at things. Be a victim or be a master. In every moment, there are two versions of you existing in parallel. One is person who reacts to everything, quick-tempered, easily dragged along, living in chaos. Two is observer. Breathe, think, act only when absolutely necessary, and live with a quiet but rock-solid power. Who do you choose? The world may be messy, but inside you, there can still be peace. Emotional reflexes are instinctive. That's not wrong. Everyone has been angry, impulsive, and has fought back in a moment of uncontrollable rage. But reaction control, it's not instinct. It's a skill. And like any skill, it takes practice. You cannot expect a calm mind if you do not train it every day. Just as the body cannot be healthy if you do not exercise, so is emotion. It is a mental muscle that needs to be trained little by little. And practice doesn't take place in a quiet room with scented candles and soft music. It happens when you get cut off in the middle of the road, when someone says something absurd, when plans go wrong, when someone misunderstands you. It's those moments that are the real gym. If you want inner freedom, let's start with something simple. Train your mind to pause, stop, look. Look into the storm without becoming part of it. It is not an escape, that is power. And the great thing is, anyone can learn this. Even you. Seneca once said something that we should all remember. We often suffer more in imagination than in reality. And you know what? That sentence is a mirror reflecting the way of life of many people in modern times. We don't just live in reality. We still live in stories that mind made up. They must be thinking badly of me. What if this happens? What if I fail? What if I get abandoned? And then we feel worried. We feel sad. We feel hurt. Not because it actually happened, but because we imagine it and believe it as if it were true. You see, emotions are real, but what triggers emotions isn't always real. And that is the difference between the person who reacts unconsciously and the person who lives with emotional discipline. A person who lives mindfully will ask himself, what I'm feeling, is it coming from reality or from the story I'm telling myself in my head? You don't need to suppress your emotions. You just need recognize what emotions are real and what emotions are driven by imagination. Once you do that, you will no longer live in anxiety. You will live in clarity, and true peace begins there. Most of the pain in life doesn't come from what happens, but it comes from the fact that doesn't happen as you expect. You think others should treat more kindly. You believe that if you try hard enough, everything will be okay. Should go according to plan. You hope that today will pass smoothly, peacefully, and without any trouble. And then, when someone behaves badly, when plans fall through, when life goes a little off track, you collapse. But actually, it's not the world that hurts you. It is false expectations that do that. Stoicism does not teach you to be indifferent, nor does it force you to be pessimistic. It just gives you another perspective. See life as it is, not as you wish it to be. The rain doesn't betray you, it's just rain. People don't live to please you, they live the way they know how. And life never promised to go the way you planned. The sooner you let go of false expectations, the closer you will live to peace. And that is the foundation for true inner strength. Accept the uncontrollable and master yourself in the midst of it all. Keeping your emotions in check doesn't mean you're emotionless. It is simply know how to keep yourself steady when the world starts to shake. You don't have to react to everything. Not every word is worth worrying about. Not every look is an attack. And not every inconvenience is an injustice. This world will continue to operate the way it is. Random, unannounced, sometimes kind, sometimes cruel. But in all that chaos, you still have the choice. Choose what goes inside. Choose what to keep and what to let go like a passing cloud. Final message. You are the gatekeeper to your inner world. And if you don't stand guard, everything, from the trivial to the chaotic, will interfere, disrupting the peace you are trying to build every day. You were not born fragile. You were born to be your own boss. If you find these words touching your heart, if you are on a journey to build mental stability, then please click subscribe to channel. Because here, we don't run after noise. We learn how steady in silence, and each video is a step closer to the strongest and most peaceful version of yourself.